So myths of ERP. So again, I think people, before they jump into this, have a lot of concerns, and they're valid. And this is just through industry speak or working with their peers and hearing, oh, it's so expensive. Projects go over budget. They never get done on time. It just costs money and more money. That can happen, but that can happen with any technology change. But when you look at the two expensive components, there's many ways to break that down. First, the cost of not doing something can be more expensive than the cost of doing something. If you have one customer that you miss an order on, you can lose that customer for life. If you buy too much inventory that you can sell, you're sitting forever and have to put that inventory and have to sell that inventory at a loss. All those things can hurt your business pretty quickly. When we look at the cost of purchasing software, or you can have software subscriptions. So you're paying $50, $100, $200 a month per user for a particular product that you just expense every month. Or you can purchase the software and say, okay, I'm going to buy it and it's going to cost me $50,000 and I'm going to amortize that over 3 years and follow your accounting rules. When you look at government grants, there's so many out there, and we'll hear more later in the presentation on how to get funding to help with the implementation of ERP, maybe more so from the services side than the software side. But again, anything to help implement and bring your total cost of ownership down is key. And then lastly, when you're looking at the licensing costs, some vendors and products that you can look at, they charge base per user. Some are base their pricing on functionality, and others even base it on usage. So again, come up with a budget and then figure out what products can fit within that budget and what licensing model works the best for you. It's too difficult to implement. Yeah, it takes time, it takes resources, but if you have a dedicated team that knows what they're doing, or they're getting help, definitely that can be taken off the table and mitigated if you do things properly. ERPs and swapping it out is going to solve all my business problems. I've heard that many times, and that's not really the case. What ends up happening is you're just swapping old technology for new technology. Your users and consumers of data then trust that new technology, think it's correct, and it's not. So what you've got to do is look at your people, your processes, and your technology. And processes play a big part into the technology change. And same thing with your resources to improve the overall business and experience that your employees will have with the system. That it's only for large companies? No, that's not the case. I would say it's even more so for small, medium enterprise, because what's going to start to happen from a cost perspective is those smaller organizations are going to say, I'm going to spend $50 a month to do my accounting. I'm going to do $30 a month to do my CRM. I'm going to spend $100 a month to do my document management. I'm going to do $50 a month to deal with my HR and payroll. I'm going to do $100 a month to deal with my reporting. And all of a sudden, you have all these disparate systems costing you money, $20, $30, $50 here, and you don't realize it until you put it all together and realize, oh my gosh, I'm spending $1,000 a month on my systems. Whereas if you had required an ERP system, that could be cut in half. So again, something to think about. So it's not just for large companies, smaller companies need to consider this as well. Systems are inflexible. So while ERP systems are designed to integrate and automate your core processes, they can be customized, as we talked about, or personalized to meet your process or your requirements. They're going to eliminate jobs. For the most part, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and it's very rare, if ever, I've ever seen employees lose their jobs because they've implemented an ERP system. It's more so the fact that instead of doing the manual data entry and spending time fixing errors and doing things manually, they now can repurpose those resources to be more efficient, looking at analyzing the data or working in another part of the business to help make it more efficient and streamline it. So you're just reallocating those resources. I've barely ever seen it where they've actually eliminated jobs. And that ERP is a one-time project. So that's just not true. again, we'll talk about this later, but you phase in typically to be successful. You phase in modules and you phase in features and functions. So you don't just say, okay, as our go live, we're going to do everything at once. Yes, you may have a capital budget that's going to take 3 years to implement or that you're going to roll out, but you'd go live with the first piece and the second piece and the third piece. And it's just continuous improvement, whether it's upgrades or reinvesting in training or optimizing the system. It's not one time. You should plan for a little bit of budget every year to enhance and continue improving your system.